This is the award-winning Brooklyn College News,
covering New York City and your neighborhood.
A community mourns a little boy and demands more security.
A breakthrough at the FDNY brings new faces to your local firehouse.
Great workouts in neighborhood parks.
And a taste of Times Square with all you can eat.
Those stories and more, starting now.
Welcome to Brooklyn College News. I'm Khadija Susilla.
And I'm Christian Colon. A stabbing in East New York leaves a child dead and a neighborhood devastated. Residents and politicians call for increased surveillance. Elizabeth Alazalde reports.
The human dynamic here is so deeply moving, so disturbing. Two young children on a summer evening on their way to get ice cream.
The two children, 6-year-old PJ Avito and 7-year-old Michaela Capers, were stabbed in an elevator at the Boulevard houses in East New York.
Forensic evidence was recovered from the crime scene by the Forensic Investigation Division of the Detective Bureau.
The NYPD used that forensic evidence to identify and arrest 27-year-old Daniel St. Hubert. Prosecutors charge him with second-degree murder in PJ's death.
He's a violent individual. He assaulted a corrections officer. He assaulted a police officer.
Dozens of candles, Spider-Man balloons, and stuffed animals surround the gate outside PJ's home. Neighbors still mourn his death.
We lost a young kid that meant a lot to all of us.
Police ramped up security after the stabbing. They stood outside the building where PJ's family lives, and cop cars surrounded the community. But residents are still angry and blame the New York City Housing Authority, or NYCHA. They say NYCHA failed to install security cameras in the elevators.
It's been years we've been fighting.
NYCHA allocated $27 million for security infrastructure in housing developments throughout the city, but didn't spend it and didn't install the cameras.
Get more aggressive on bringing the cameras here.
Congressman Hakeem Jeffries promised he would get the cameras.
Well, I'm definitely going to speak to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, which is the federal agency that oversees NYCHA, to ensure that the federal government is pressuring NYCHA to execute upon the cameras in the boulevard houses and in developments all across the city of New York.
Mayor Bill de Blasio vowed to immediately install the cameras and reinforce security.
We know there's a lot we have to do here. I said the other day we are going to move to immediately implement the security cameras for which the funding was already there, but the action wasn't.
The latest from the mayor: the boulevard houses will get 17 cameras starting now. The other housing developments will get them soon. This is Elizabeth Alazalde, Brooklyn College News.
NYPD Police Chief Bill Bratton on the defensive about the rising gun crimes. While the overall crime rate in the city continues to drop, shootings in public housing developments are up. Bratton said he thinks the NYPD can combat gun crime, but said more victims need to cooperate with the police.
A big change at the FDNY. The City Fire Department took a leap forward and ended years of discrimination. The FDNY graduated the most diverse class ever. Mario Abar met the graduates.
This is another step towards a stronger FDNY.
Mayor Bill de Blasio praised FDNY leaders for bringing new faces and a new attitude to the department. 45% of the 280 graduates are Black, Latino, or women.
This is a class that absolutely looks like New York City, and that is a beautiful thing. You represent all of New York City.
Family and friends packed the room at the Christian Cultural Center in Canarsie. The new class takes the FDNY beyond allegations of discrimination. A recent settlement gave $98 million to blacks and Hispanics who claimed the FDNY test shut them out. But these probies focused on the challenge of their training.
It was a long 18 weeks. They had us in the cold. This was probably the worst winters in the past 10 years.
I had to sit down and speak to my wife about it because she had to put up with it for another 18 weeks, and it's a big part on the family because I can't really be there as a father all the time.
But what makes this class so special is the 4 women who graduated. It has been a decade since the FDNY has had this many women from the academy.
It's great, especially to see the females. The females is a big thing. I hope to see more of them.
One of those women graduates was Vanessa Schoening, a former Air Force reservist.
It's amazing. It's amazing to see hopefully more and more women come here. It's a job that the women before me have done, and hopefully I can follow in their footsteps.
Vanessa had some advice for the record-breaking 4,261 women who filed for the recent firefighter exam.
It's possible. It can be done. I'm not the only woman that's here. There's 3 other women with me, and there's 41 of us now. And I'm telling you, jump on board. This is the greatest job in the world.
Keep an eye out for the new probies who will be showing up in your neighborhood firehouse soon. Mario Abar, Brooklyn College News.
Paying for higher education remains a big problem for many undocumented students. Legislation in some states allows them to apply for financial aid.
But if you're an older student, you're not included. As Stephanie Hernandez finds out what this means for one hard-working single mom. Lena feeds her kids, pays the bills, and tells her daughter to take the garbage out just like any other single mom.
The barbecue thing?
But Lena's challenges may be just a little bigger.
I had cancer, and then after that, I decided that I had to change my life. I cannot keep going like that. I need to do something for myself.
She enrolled at LaGuardia Community College, where she found out that because of her immigrant status, she has to pay the full price as an out-of-state student. Meanwhile, she supports her 2 kids.
I cannot spend a lot of time with them, and sometimes I feel like, guilty because I cannot leave them on the side. I teach them to be responsible. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Lena works as a waitress every weekend, but during the week she tries to keep her perfect 4.0 GPA.
And I can go to Hunter with a scholarship, but there's not many scholarships for people like me that doesn't have papers.
Even after finding out that there are not many scholarships available for her, Lena plans to go to Hunter College, and paying for it is another challenge.
I feel frustrated because I was like, my kids were born here, I've been living here, I don't have any problems, why I cannot get help.
About 4,500 undocumented CUNY students can't get financial aid through New York State. And while there's a push in Albany to change the law, it won't apply to Lena because she's 39 and didn't go to high school here.
This is a country for opportunities.
To inform immigrants about more opportunities, the White House set up a guide for students like Lena. Alejandra Ceja directs the White House program to help Hispanic students.
We're really trying to make sure that we can use our convening power to increase the access to these types of resources to the Dreamer community, to the Hispanic community in general.
Lena pays taxes on her salary, and advocates say opponents of helping immigrants like her fail to look at the long-term financial gain.
After they were to go through college, they would pay increased taxes, meaning that they would actually benefit New York State's economy in the long run.
There is financial assistance available for undocumented students. Go to www.ed.gov. Estefania Hernandez, Brooklyn College News.
When we come back, a Brooklyn man tells the story of how a stranger saved his life.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
Nigeria seems like a world away, but many New Yorkers joined the call for the release of more than 200 girls kidnapped by radical Islamists. Ty Hampton found a Brooklyn church protesting at the Nigerian consulate.
Police barricades across the street from the Nigerian embassy held back protesters.
We demand now that the girls be brought back.
These Brooklyn church members want the Nigerian government to bring back the girls.
It is very shameful for a group of people who think themselves religion people to hold small kids, girls, captive.
Boko Haram, an Islamist terrorist group, abducted the schoolgirls from their dormitory in April. They oppose education for women.
What I'm calling on the Nigerian government to do is to connect with all the hopes and aspirations of Nigerian people.
Nigerian-born Brooklyn College professor Mojo Ba'alu Alafunke Akome think the terrorists distort the religion.
There's nothing about the Islamic religion that says that girls should not be educated. This is a distortion.
Even though this is New York City, the people today saw a personal connection with these girls and their families.
I have not slept very well because I can just imagine if this happened to be my daughter, what is going to be my status in terms of peace.
People around the world want the government to bring back these girls. You can find calls of action all over social media, especially Instagram and Twitter, using the hashtag #BringBackOurGirls. Ty Hampton in Midtown, Brooklyn College News.
It may surprise you to know that over 50,000 veterans are homeless. Many others struggle to put food on their tables. Taisha S.B.N.I visited a local food pantry where the Army gave a helping hand.
Well, I mean, I kind of find it to be disgraceful when you have our military out there defending our country, giving us the freedom that we have, and then finding themselves, through their disability and so on, homeless.
Thomas Neve put actions behind his emotions and started a food pantry to feed the needy. He learned quickly that U.S. veterans go hungry too.
We're seeing more and more vets that are coming to this organization as well, depending on support and relief that they can get because they're living in a very challenging, troubling time.
33% of veterans across the United States are homeless or hungry. And at the Reach In Our Community Service Food Pantry, people were surprised and disturbed to learn about it.
They did so much for us to leave them out in the street. I'm kind of a little embarrassed.
At the food pantry, we met Liam McCabe. He worked for Congressman Michael Grimm, and he shared his personal story.
My father was a homeless veteran. He actually died. He died in 2005. Homeless, and he actually died from hypothermia.
The U.S. Army Recruiting Battalion based at Fort Hamilton learned about the food pantry and decided to help out during the Army's birthday week.
Today we're just doing a little bit of community service, celebrating Army birthday week, and just giving back to the community.
We have soldiers here, we have veterans, giving back to the community and helping to distribute food from a lot of the food banks who are right here in our New York community.
The Army's help thrilled Thomas Neve.
I'm very grateful that the Army has participated in this. They defend our country, and at the same time they give us the freedom, and then they find time also to give back to families that are struggling as well.
Everyone we talked to was thankful for the soldiers' help, but many still remain concerned about homeless and needy veterans. Taisha S.B.N.I, Brooklyn College News.
The smell can drive you out of the park. I know because I was there. Neighbors in Bay Ridge want the city to clean up the air in Owl's Head Park.
Owl's Head Park in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn is plagued by a horrible smell. A city waste treatment plant is just a stone's throw away, and park regulars worry that the air is polluted.
You don't know what's in there, where the smell is coming from, what kind of pollution is in the air. Children are in the park. This park is always crowded. We've smelt it plenty of times.
Brooklyn politicians know about the problem, and Councilman Vincent Gentili's office says it continues to work to try to eliminate the smell.
I mean, the city has spent a small fortune on trying to put a lid on the problem there. They've spent close to $70 million with various installation of carbon filters and all sorts of state-of-the-art stuff to try to mitigate the odors there.
But people who live near the park say the smell is persistent. It floats in the air some days into their homes in Bay Ridge.
It's a bit disturbing sometimes, when you're at night at home and it's, it flows down all the way from the river to your house.
Or smelling like garbage, like stinky garbage, like a dirty diaper or something. And it just hits you and then it just stays like that for a long time.
The smell is really bad in the park, and some say they often can't play ball or hang out.
It makes me leave sometimes because it's not like a little bit of stench. It's like a lot of stench. Like you can't run away from it like by moving courts. It's all over the park.
Complaints apparently count, and politicians say they need people to call in when the smell gets really bad.
We sort of implore our constituents to call 311 to report it so that we can build a case.
Even though the city says it has worked on the problem, neighbors and people who use the park continue to complain about the odor and want the city to find a real solution. This is Kadia Tusela, Brooklyn College News.
Help from strangers. It's always amazing when someone you don't know steps up to help out. And a Brooklyn man got the gift of life from a stranger who traveled all the way across the country to help him. Steve Lafredo has the story.
She is an angel. She is a wonderful, wonderful person.
Norman Sapuznik thanks that angel for helping him survive.
You're interviewing me now, but this story is really about her.
Norman, a retired high school teacher, as seen here with his students, needed a kidney transplant. He was once a Peace Corps volunteer and used the Peace Corps network to ask if anyone would donate.
And your body is deteriorating, right? So the earlier that you can get a kidney, the better life you can live.
Ann McAvoy from Portland, Oregon, was one of 8 former Peace Corps volunteers like the people seen here who said they would give up a kidney for Norman. She's the one who matched the criteria. I talked to her via Skype.
He was a total stranger, and we didn't meet until the day before the surgery.
The average person who is normal and healthy has 2 kidneys, and they can easily give one and live a perfectly healthy life.
Ann's brother donated a kidney to someone, and that inspired her.
She was nervous, but she gave me courage. She was my biggest cheerleader. It was a little counterintuitive, so thinking that she wanted to do this, almost saying that she wanted to do this more than me.
Jennifer Martin from the National Kidney Foundation says Norman was lucky, but increasingly, people do reach out successfully to their networks.
People find a potential donor through like their church or their synagogue or a community group that they belong to or some other organization where they may not know the person directly, but they have some kind of connection and somebody hears about it and decides to donate to that person.
Ann McAvoy and Norman Sapuznik say that they feel great, although a little weak from the surgery. They hope this story encourages others to donate.
You can donate an organ, that you can donate a kidney if you're a normal, healthy person, and save somebody else not only their life, but the time, which even the richest person in the world cannot buy time.
Norman and Ann are both home after the surgery, and both are expected to make a full recovery. To this day, they still talk on a daily basis. Steve Lafredo, Brooklyn College News.
And a taste of Times Square with all you can eat. Stay tuned. Brooklyn College News will be right back.
Hunger is not always easy to see. Look closer. It's here. One of these children will eat tonight at a soup kitchen. 2 of these commuters are struggling to afford food. Hunger is here. Thankfully, so are you. Join Food Bank for New York City. Donate, advocate, volunteer.
Don't assume it was left by accident. If you see something, say something.
Homemade noodles. Oh. Marty, stop it. It reminds me, maybe we should try a new form of birth control.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
What do you think, though?
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Columbine.
Virginia Tech.
Tucson.
Aurora.
Fort Hood. Oak Creek.
Newtown.
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 How many more?
How many more? How many more colleges? How many more classrooms?
How many more movie theaters?
How many more houses of faith?
How many more shopping malls?
How many more street corners?
How many more?
How many more?
Enough. Enough. Enough.
Enough.
Demand a plan.
Right now. As a mom.
As a dad. As a friend. As a husband.
As a wife.
As an American.
As an American.
As an American.
As a human being.
For the children of Sandy Hook.
Demand a plan. No more lists of names. It's not too soon.
It's too late.
Now is the time.
Before we all know someone who loved someone on that list.
No more lists.
No more.
Who they might have been. No more.
If we had just done something yesterday. It's time.
We can do better than this.
We can do better than this.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time for our leaders to act.
Demand a plan. Right now.
Right now.
You! Demand it!
Enough.
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 Practically everyone we know uses social media, but how do you use it to sell something or promote yourself? Marcus Lloyd can tell us.
Thanks, Christian. I'm constantly on social media for work and play, but here's the secret. Every social media platform is different and serves a different need.
Facebook is all-purpose. Use it to build a community that supports your ideas and your brand. Let's say you sell skateboards like my buddy Jordan. Up-to-date profile pic, great cover photo, and descriptive about section. He updates frequently with videos and photos. That's what the audience of skateboard buyers want to see. So he promotes his brand and gives them something they can look forward to checking out. And maybe a skater will buy a board. The local juice bar Liquiteria uses Instagram to give sneak peeks of new drinks. What better way to create your brand image than with a picture? Instagram allows you to show fans behind-the-scene images of what's going on with your company, and it can automatically post to your Facebook. Using your Facebook page to post your Instagram photos is a smart way to merge the two platforms and generate more traffic.
I'll have more social media tips next time. Christian?
Thanks, Marcus. Let's send it over to Steve Lafredo for sports.
Thanks, Christian. Middleweight champion Sergio Martinez showed off his stuff at a Times Square workout. Stephanie Castro met the champ.
Fans watch as Sergio Martinez shows off his cat-like reflexes, proving he can surely pack a punch.
The media workout was really good. You know, you see how he trains and works up a sweat and all that, you know, his routine and whatnot. It shows how dedicated he is.
This is the champ right here. This guy supports Martinez's opponent, Miguel Cotto. He showed up just to tease the boxer.
He autographed a glove, and I had to throw into it. I had to let him know that, unfortunately, he's a good guy, but he's going to lose on Saturday night.
The champion boxer brought his entourage. His personal chef, Food Network star Chris Santos says, meet and greets before an event stoke up Martinez.
I think it's great for fans to come out. You see the line that's been formed. Just so, you know, boxers are really accessible athletes.
And boxing writer Michael Wood says that athlete-to-fan relationships are really important.
The benefit for the athlete in an event like this is that people who look up to them can actually see that they are a human being. They can shake their hand and they can get up close and personal. And when you do that as an entertainer successfully, you have bought a fan for life.
Maribel Mendoza even brought her daughter to support the champ.
So this is an exciting fight going on with Cotto, and I know he's going to win with a knockout.
Regardless of who wins or loses the championship fight, Martinez really knows how to engage his fans. Stephanie Castro, Brooklyn College News.
Work out anywhere, anytime. More places to work out in the city than ever before, right in your own neighborhood. Some parks feature fitness circuits for New Yorkers. Katrina Theodore discovered a great workout in Rosedale, Queens.
Push it, push it, push it!
People work out in the community park in Queens every morning.
Come out here, get a good workout, run around, do everything you can do in the inside gym.
Brookville Park is one of 163 parks throughout the city with a planned fitness circuit. It leads you through a regular workout routine.
It was a good idea for the kids in the neighborhood and all that, and for the people that can afford it to go to the gym.
Some use this fitness circuit practically every day.
I work out Monday through Friday, and I take the weekend off. You definitely need to at least have 2 days to, rest your muscles, because when you're working out, you're tearing muscle tissue and it's rebuilding, so you don't want to overwork out because you can injure yourself.
I tried the pull-up bar with Steven's help.
They have great diagrams on them. It almost explains to you how to do it. And so in some ways you can do it alone with a partner and still feel like you're doing it correctly. I've seen people kind of create their own circuits in parks.
Inside doing my own little workouts or finding little poles and stuff outside in the park. and doing pull-ups and stuff.
Fitness specialists think there should be more workout circuits for people throughout the 5 boroughs. But in the meantime, to find a park closest to you, visit www.nycgovparks.org. This is Katrina Theater reporting for Brooklyn College News.
That's it for us. I'm Steve Lafredo, Brooklyn College News. Back to you.
Thanks, Steve. People danced and ate the night away on Restaurant Row at the Taste of Times Square Food Festival. Chefs brought their favorite dishes to the streets, and lucky Elizabeth Cajalo tasted it all.
Food, live music, and good company. New York City restaurants spilled on the streets and drew hundreds to taste the best chefs have to offer.
This is the first year we've made it to the Taste of Times Square, and it's delicious.
Over 40 restaurants showcase their menus at the 2-block street fair. A taste of Times Square is a taste of world cuisine.
It's like taking a trip around the world without a passport.
Guests and restaurant employees enjoyed the festival.
I have a great time doing it. We all do. We make the t-shirts and everyone kind of comes out and has a good time. We get to see all of our friends, old employees and whatnot. So we have a great time doing it.
Some of these employees take work and play to another level.
Come for the food, stay for the fright. Come to Jekyll and Hyde restaurant. Come one, come all.
We brought a bunch of our cool stuff out. Sarcophaguses, dead people, skeletons, shrunken heads, me. So it's been a blast.
The Times Square Alliance organized the festival with business in mind.
We go to the businesses and we say we want to do this. We've been doing it for 20 years. It always is good for business because if you look at the people here, some of these folks are regulars at these restaurants, but a lot of them aren't, and so it's great exposure for them.
And 46th Street restaurants say they do get a boost from the festival.
I definitely see increase of sales. We hand out business cards, we hand out promotional information, and we do see a return in it.
You're getting a lot more publicity for it since Times Square Alliance is very well known.
This festival is awesome for business. A ton of people walking by.
The Taste of Times Square is for everyone. And whether you're a tourist or a native, make sure you come out and try the great food. Elizabeth Cajalo, Brooklyn College News.
That's it for Brooklyn College News. I'm Kadia Tusella.
And I'm Christian Cologne. See you next time.